So here's a very controversial shifting experience I'd like to share. This was when I was a baby shifter. I think about this every day, man, and this has never been talked about on the channel before. But if there was ever a time for me to talk about it, might as well be today. This happened last year. Around the time when I first found shifting, my drive as a baby shifter was high as fuck. I would try every single day and was able to stay motivated. Like I'm telling you, only baby shifters, would know that feeling. And now experienced shifters will remember that feeling. Like it's just like, like something you just can't describe in words. Like you have to actually experience it. But yeah, my first ever DR was nothing too crazy. It was basically just a better CR with the only difference is I was with one of my old SPs, specific person. She was the last ever person I liked before I became more spiritually awakened. But this was also around the same time when I found shifting. I am an open book on this channel, which means I have no problem sharing anything with you guys. I used to be the biggest simp ever. I would put her on a pedestal, constantly constantly letting her dictate my choices, which wasn't a healthy thing. Well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to shift for a lover, but at the end of the day, you should always look at the bigger picture, which thankfully nowadays I do. Shifting is so complex that there's no reason for us to settle for less. This DR was basically just what my life is right now, but with circumstances going differently with an old crush. I still had the same job and everything, same life and everything. Changed nothing except that one event. I could have scripted so much more, but I'm not going to be hard on myself. I was a different person back then, and I didn't think the way as I do now. But I did manage to get this one controversial shifting experience out of it, though. Was it a success? Let's see. I'm not sure. But was it progress? Absolutely, yes. Big progress. There was one time where I was just sleeping, where I just slept with setting the intention of waking up in my old DR. But at the time, this was my present DR. I was also using the intent method. That method has been known to work wonders for baby shifters. Then, out of nowhere, I felt myself in a weird ass state, and I was aware of it. The place I was in was like space, literally space. Except the only difference is, instead of everything being black with stars, everything was purple with stars. And I saw like like some weird like fucking Buddhist statue type shit. Like it was like a female Buddhist statue. And it was just so weird. It was like being in the void state, actually, because I was literally nothing and everything at the same time. I was just pure consciousness. After that, I heard sounds, and the sounds were just boom, boom. That's what they literally were. It was like boom, boom. Pretty sure you guys know those sound effects. Then I felt the transition of me going to an alternate reality, which was my old DR. When I felt the transition, everything around me was blurry, spinning, and after that, I view myself in first person. It was like spawning into a video game. This is very controversial. Dude, for real. And I was at work, which was the place I was technically spawning in, which was at Walmart. Because in my old DR, which is, like I said, just like here, it was a place that I still worked in, but I didn't script that I was gonna, like, spawn there or anything. But at the end of the day, I still had a job there. Then everything just seemed to just go away, and I woke up here. I've always had mixed feelings about this experience. Yes, I was proud of it and everything, but at the same time, here's where my honesty comes into play. No, I did not successfully shift. But, dude, at the same time, it's so freaking weird though, because it's like I shifted, but I didn't at the same time. But here's what is making me lean more towards no. While it may look like I was transitioning to be in my DR, and even saw it at the end of the day, I never left the void state. This wasn't like any of my other shifting experiences, where I was actually at the damn reality and felt everything physically, as I would here. With my other experiences, I actually left the state, and made it to my DR. Was this still a good step in my journey? Hell yes. I've known many other shifters who have experienced the same things, and even get people commenting that they've experienced the same thing I did, and couldn't tell if they shifted or not. I guess your best bet is to probably do reality checks, which I didn't even know what those were at the time, and I just started practicing those this year. But those things, of course, are going to take time to master. So, most importantly, though, the easy answer to your question is, did you feel everything physically like you would here? Which, in my case, I didn't. Do that right now if you haven't mastered reality checks. Like I said, I was just a baby shifter at the time. It's not like right now where I can actually tell the difference. There's a reason why I waited 1 year to make this video, but it has been like, lingering on my mind. I swear, man, there ain't many people like I am on YouTube who do shifting content, who are this credible, and actually does this study before informing people. I know this didn't seem like anything earth-shattering because that's really all that happened. However, this is still good work and should not be ignored. Make sure you guys count everything with your progress, even if it's not what you wanted, nor if it's a reality you desire anymore. Still track it down. In my case, I no longer desire this reality, and I have not for a minute. Like, I have not desired this reality even before I started this channel. My old SP is not the same one as my current DRSO, aka my old flame. And my whole life in my DR is rewritten. That's evolving. As you grow, you'll become a better decision maker, not just spiritually and for shifting, but for life in general. Honestly, I love my DR way more. My current DR way more. If I actually did manage to successfully shift to that old DR fully, and if I broke up with my old SP, I'd be even in a worse state than I am now, man, because of my mentality at the time. At least here, I have a YouTube channel and have found people I knew from my past lives. Like, shit. Now, this is something that you should be focusing on, and that should actually be on your mind. Not your failed attempts or any anti-shifters. None of that shit. That's it, I'm out.